This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 367, I Achieved Financial Independence in the U.S. Navy, by Doug Nordman with MoneyBoss.com. And I am Dan, your host here on Optimal Finance Daily. I'm here each Monday through Friday reading to you from some of the best personal finance blogs on the planet. And this episode is brought to you by SendPro from Pitney Bowes. SendPro has 3 times the features of Stamps.com at 1/3 the price. Visit pb.com/finance to learn more and try it free for 90 days. After that, you'll get SendPro for only $5 per month. That's 1/3 of the cost of Stamps.com. And that special $5 rate is good for the lifetime of your SendPro subscription, but only when you sign up at pb.com/finance. Now let's get right to today's post as we optimize your life. I Achieved Financial Independence in the U.S. Navy by Doug Nordman with MoneyBoss.com. My name is Doug, and I'm a retired U.S. Navy submariner. I'm also financially independent. I graduated from college in 1982 and spent most of the next 5 years in training or underwater. Like most military service members, I had a steady income but very little free time. I knew how to save, but I was very slow to learn how to invest. My first 10 years of active duty were challenging, fulfilling, and fun. But then my spouse and I started our family. When our daughter was born, my priorities changed, and I wanted to have more family time. I was very surprised to learn that the work challenges were no longer as important to me, and the 60-hour work weeks, plus months at sea, were definitely ruining our quality of life. Your Money or Your Life. In 1992, Joe Dominguez published Your Money or Your Life. It's still at your local public library. And after reading it, my spouse and I realized that we could reach financial independence earlier than the traditional retirement age. We learned more about saving and investing and began fixing all the financial mistakes we'd made over the years. In 1996, when Tom Stanley started writing his Millionaire Next Door books, we added his advice to our toolbox. My second blinding flash of the oblivious happened when I was nearing military retirement. I tried to figure out my next career by working through the typical self-assessment and interest discovery tools. The discouraging results predicted that I'd make an excellent mid-level manager or nuclear engineer, pretty much how I'd spent the last 20 years. I wasn't interested in those careers, or as it turned out, any employment at all. So I reviewed our finances to see how much longer I needed to work. Unexpectedly, we found we were already financially independent and didn't have to pursue bridge careers. I retired in 2002 at the age of 41, when our daughter was nearly 10 years old. On my first official day of retirement, we gave ourselves the gift we'd been joking about for a few months, family surfing lessons. Much to my surprise, we were hooked. It's a great way to spend time with your kids, and it's an entire lifestyle. Today, I surf at least twice a week, and our daughter has been riding waves for over half her life. I plan to paddle out for the rest of my life. Finding financial freedom. My spouse and I reached our financial independence despite making many mistakes. We paid sales fees for actively managed mutual funds. We chased performance. We even tried to pick stocks. Fortunately, our high savings rate more than made up for those errors. Maybe my biggest mistake was staying on active duty for a pension. In retrospect, I should have left active duty for the reserves as soon as we started our family. I would have taken a large pay cut, of course, but our quality of life would have soared. We would have reached financial independence a couple years later, or maybe I would have found an even more satisfying and lucrative career. I stayed on active duty out of ignorance and fear, and I paid the price. During the last half of my active duty, I grimly clenched my jaw and hung on for the pension. I risked my physical, emotional, and mental health, and I have the medical records to document the process. Today, I'm in the best shape of my life, but I regret staying on active duty after the fun stopped. Mathematically, of course, the most important factor in financial independence is a high savings rate, or profit margin, as JD calls it. It works whether that comes from a high salary or by low expenses, and it works a lot faster when both are applied. Psychologically and emotionally, the most important factor is aligning your spending with your values. You have to be willing to work for it. Your spending is bought with your life energy. Is that consumer possession or experience worth the extra weeks of labor to pay for it? That thought process helps everyone draw their personal line between frugality and deprivation, and it leads them to a fulfilling life on the path to FI. Military matters. Retirees have to deal with decades of inflation and affordable health care. A military pension covers both of those concerns, but the vast majority of military retirees still jump straight into a bridge career. Most military families never realize that they can save for financial independence. Only 17% of service members earn a pension, but that's not necessary. The other 83% of the nation's veterans can still reach financial independence from their own savings, even if they only served one obligation and never earned a military pension. Their military skills will serve them well during their civilian career, and I've met thousands of veterans who are living proof. Nowadays, I show service members and their families how to make their best choice. They'll reach financial independence either way, and they'll do it without postponing their happiness. I wrote the Military Guide to Financial Independence and Retirement with the help of over 70 other military service members and veterans at earlyretirement.org. I started themilitaryguide.com in 2010, and we've helped thousands of readers reach their own financial independence. I donate all of my writing revenue to military charities, over $12,000 so far. Still retired. I've been retired for 14 years, and today our life is better than ever. Our net worth has grown beyond our wildest expectations, despite 2 recessions. Our daughter graduated from college in 2014 and started her own Navy career. She and her fiancé keenly appreciate the benefits of financial independence and surfing. I'm writing these paragraphs in Spain. Our daughter is stationed on a U.S. Navy ship that's homeported in Roth, and my spouse and I are visiting for the second time this year. The military still has 60-hour work weeks, but we find the time to travel around the country together, enjoying the sights and experiences. When she's at sea, my spouse and I do our own slow travel by staying a few days in different Spanish towns to enjoy the sights and really experience their culture. This year, we'll spend 6 months away from our Hawaii home. The Spanish surf is a lot colder, but the family time is still worth it. You just listened to the post titled, I Achieved Financial Independence in the U.S. Navy by Doug Nordman with moneyboss.com, and Doug is a guest author on the site who's been participating in the financial independence community for a long time. And once again, this episode today was brought to you by SendPro from Pitney Bowes. SendPro has 3 times the features of Stamps.com at 1/3 the price. They've negotiated special rates for SendPro users, and savings start at 3 cents per stamp. But not only that, you can actually print the stamps straight from your computer, saving even more money and time. You don't even need any special equipment to do it, and you don't have to install any software. You can do it all straight from the web. You can get a great deal through pb.com/finance. You'll get SendPro free for 90 days, you'll get a free 10-pound scale, and when your free trial is over, you'll get SendPro for only $5 a month, and that rate is good for the life of your SendPro subscription. That's $5 a month compared to $15.99 a month for Stamps.com, which is 3 times the features of Stamps.com at 1/3 the price. Again, you can get all that through our special link, pb.com/finance. And that's it for today. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. I will see you again in tomorrow's show, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's OLDpodcast.com for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.